Hello. Hello. That was my Pee Wee Herman impersonation. Hey, hey. Hey. I'm not comfortable in my clothes today. I feel like the clothing stayed the same size and I've kind of expanded. So I'm trying to put on bigger clothes. But enough about that kind of thing. Hey, hey. So some of you, I don't know why this is not working. Some of you may have known that I was going to do a TikTok live today. Others of you, this may be what is she doing here? Here's the cool thing. I scheduled a bunch of TikTok lives. I show up for them. It's kind of easy. Hey, AZ Firefly, nice to see you, and Sloan and Stella, and Reblex and Swan Potato and Dana, and as always, the romper room portion of the show. I almost said Brady Bunch, but Hilda, hello Hilda. And everybody, if I don't miss your name, trust me, it's not like I was like, I'm not seen, I don't feel seen by Miss Jean on Romper Room. I did, God's Child 777 is asked, I hope you had an amazing vacay. Indeed, I did. Now, as I said to the people on the the Destination Decluttered mailing list, one thing I never want to do is show off about how awesome my life is. Because if I did, you'd think I was making it up. And you'd probably get annoyed because my life is so awesome. However, I don't post about that stuff a lot, even on my own personal pages, because people will be like, damn, girl, how awesome. I did have an amazing vacation. It was probably one of the best vacations I've ever had. And you know why? It had a lot to do with coaching and me being a coach and coaching people, ergo coaching myself to stop beating myself up about the food I was eating, the food choices I was making. I just kind of let it go. And it was fabulous to be in the moment, to experiment with living in different places. So Call Me Pat is asking me, so where did I go? So my husband and I went to Hawaii for about a week. And we stayed in Maui for a few days. And then on Oahu, like Waikiki, Honolulu and all that, for a few days. And then literally, this was crazy, but this is the pace that we live at, and it feels good. We flew home, got home at literally 9 a.m. in the morning, 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. 9:30, some people came to do some work on the house, and then they were here all day. And then by noontime on the very next day, not only had I done a TikTok live, but we were on the road again, and we spent some time up in Massachusetts. Now I'm here for maybe a whopping 10 days, and then I'm going to Ohio. Then we're home. Actually, I'm barely home. Then we go to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. This is how I live my life. I freaking love it. It may sound exhausting to you. It feels like the right pace for me. Now, trust me, I am indulging in the fact that my husband's leaving momentarily for a gig and I'm not going to it because I want to putter around. Christine is saying you should be proud of your vacation. I am, but I know not everybody can go on vacation. I know not everybody has a flexible schedule like I do. So instead of feeling like I'm rubbing my nose in it, because I will say there's some people I know who share stuff about their lives and they're cool. And there are other people that I get that kind of showy offy vibe. And so the last thing I want to do is give that off. But trust me when I say to you, my life freaking rocks. It does. Pat, I had never been to Hawaii myself. We had been planning it for easily 10 years because we have friends who live over there that we had been wanting to visit. And honestly, our trip down the Cape, I did a TikTok live from there. It's so funny. I say down the Cape because I'm from Mass, even though I'm in Pennsylvania right now. And that was a different experience, but still is delightful. And both of those things I will share with you all. I know I'm a decluttering life coach, but this is more like the lifey part of it is those were two destinations. Okay, notice where I'm pointing behind me. If we haven't met yet, I apologize. My name is Beth. I apologize for not introducing myself. My name is Beth. Destination Decluttered is my decluttering life coaching, and I am a decluttering life coach. And I think of everything like a road trip. So these two vacations were destinations that had been in my mind and in my heart for easily the last 25 years. No lie. And so it feels really awesome to be on the other side of that, to say, I made what I wanted to do, I made it happen. Now, it's become so easy like that for me, I just do it all the time. It's just how my brain works and my actions work, but I wasn't always like that. So, awesome sauce 14, or however you want to say it. Nice to see you. Okay, good. Christine is saying, I think it's part of some motivation to us to get a similar life, and you're not. I'm not doing it all. Yes. Oh gosh, call me Pat just said, got to make a bucket list before you get old. I have a continually, my bucket is never empty and it's always filling up with new adventures. That's how I roll. Just had a lady die on my flight. Yeah, we actually, this is a neat thing too. We got bumped up to first class. It was on our trip from LAX to Philly. So we basically slept in fancy seats, but somebody passed out in the front seat. She got lightheaded and it was scary. Carpe diem, people. Make your bucket list and don't just make the list. This is the fun thing where all of a sudden I'm feeling like I'm coaching because I did some coaching this morning. Anybody can make a list. You've got a list. I've got a list. What I love doing is getting the stuff done on your list, making the things happen on your list. So good, so good. So if you struggle with that, I feel like I'm going into sales mode, but I'm not. I'm just offering to you. I know how to make cool stuff happen. It's not rocket science. I can teach you it. Okay? So if it's even just decluttering, if you're like, I'm stuck with my clutter is keeping me from traveling because I feel like I can't go on vacation until the house is clean. Or, I can't go have fun before I do my chores. Did anybody grow up like that? I know I did. So I show up and do these TikTok lives. Today is what? Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 12:07. And I'll be here for like the next hour or so. I usually start them at top of the hour and do it for an hour. And then they get recorded. They get put on Destination Decluttered YouTube channel where you can watch them. There's a whole ton of them there. Because many people say that they like to declutter while they're listening to these TikTok lives. There's really nothing to see here, people. Like, it's me. I will say I got new glasses for my computer because I'm on it for so long. So that you're seeing that. I got my hair cut. I'm feeling a little bit more puffy because I was on vacation eating fun food. But really the only thing I will do, you'll pick up some things from my body language, but even if you only ever hear the words I say, they will help you because what they do is they calm down your backseat drivers and they allow your, as I like to call it, your co-pilot to, have the floor. Okay. There we go. Do a little declutter chore and reward yourself with a trip. Yeah, I did a little, trust me, I feel like a rock star today because what did I do already today? I coached, took a little walk, did a little dance, made a little love, get down tonight. No, I emptied the dishwasher. I folded some laundry out of the dryer. I took a shower. I actually put on a bit of makeup. I am doing good. And I'm rewarding myself with some bright orange Cheetos. So, here I am. I could talk about myself. Well, here's a fun thing. I was going to say, I can talk about myself a lot. I don't care to because I'm more interested in you. And thank you for telling me my hair looks cool. I will tell you one really fun thing that happened. It's kind of like you're going to see it on Insta or on the socials anyway. Talk about having a fun, awesome life that the little girl when she was 9 years old watching the reruns of the Monkees was like, I want to live in a place like that. I want to hang around with cute musicians. Yesterday I had cute musicians in my house and not just my husband. Okay? There's a band that you may not have heard of. You may have heard of Low Cut Connie. Adam from Low Cut Connie was in our house yesterday. It was wicked fun to see him. He did a video for an upcoming show sitting on our couch in the living room. So if you Google that, I don't know. He's got a TikTok page, or they have a TikTok page. I don't think they keep it up as much as some of the other socials. But if you ever want to see what our couch looks like and some of the pillows and a little, I think there's our little, what do you call them, Bob's Big Boys in the background. When you see his video, you'll know that's our house. So isn't that fun? That's the kind of life I live. And I freaking love it. Okay? So anyhow, again, I could talk about me, but this is not about me. Just know that makes good stuff happen. And I want to help you do that too. Because it hasn't always been this way for me. I learned some stuff. I practiced it. I got good at it. I got so good at it. I like to teach people, help people. So here I am for you. Now, life coaching to me can sometimes be overwhelming. What do you want to do with your life? I don't know. That's too big. Let's chunk it on down. What do you want to do with your house? Your home? Does your home look like you want it to look? Does your home function like you want it to function? Function, what do you mean? Pretty much, can you find the stuff you're looking for? Does it work well? Does it fit well? Like when I literally had to change my t-shirt because the t-shirt that I put on that was a medium felt like a small because I'm puffy from vacation. So I knew exactly where to get a bigger t-shirt. Now it's got something printed on it. Usually I wear a plain black t-shirt. The most important thing though about your home is, how do you feel in your home? How do you feel in your home? How would you feel if a rock star came to your front door, knocked on the door? Now, we knew he was coming, but how would you feel about opening your door and there's a cutie at the door? I've had that happen a number of times, and it's fun to open the door and say, hey, come on in. Check out our cool stuff. Look at how neat and organized our house is. Now, we have a lot of stuff. I'm a decluttering life coach, but man, do I collect cool stuff. But it's organized, it's curated, I know where it is. Yes, there is a sprinkling of dust on everything because we just got back from traveling. But it's fun. It feels good to live in a house that you know where everything is. That when you look at stuff, it brings you a good story. What can I say? I'm here to help you. Like, So if you listen to this TikTok live and you're decluttering, feel free to declutter while I'm talking. I don't feel bad about that. I actually was gonna do this TikTok live while I was folding my laundry. You know, they say, oh, you should do something like, you know, to pretend you're doing stuff. And I was going to, but my husband's leaving, and it's where our washer and dryer is near the back door. So I'm here to help you. All right. Oh, funny. Call Me Pat is saying, remember when Harry Styles and James Corden went to some girl's apartment to film a video? I don't, but how fun is that? I have had in my life people I consider famous. I've met famous people before, and they've shown up at my door. Any of you who are from like the, and this is again, just example, like feeling good about opening the door and welcoming people in, whether they've been invited or not, whether they're showing up unannounced or not. That's a really good feeling. Okay. Here we go. Donna and Rhonda. Could you tell that my Boston accent speaks? My inner voice has a wicked Boston accent, even though sometimes I try to catch it before it comes out. Donna and Rhonda are saying, we're in our 60s, preparing to move and downsizing. Appreciate your ideas. Awesome. Here's a really interesting thing I will share with you, and that literally happened yesterday when we had Adam over at the house. So we had been out of our house for over a week. I mean, we were home to like get the stuff done. We had the front patio painted, stained rather. And the really interesting thing is when we were kind of showing him around, he only knows me as I am now, as he calls me the declutter queen. Who doesn't like that? But previously to that, I was a collector of vintage stuff. Now, I still have a lot of those things. The books, the tchotchkes, the souvenirs, things like that. But they are almost like a visible evidence of who I used to be. I don't buy those things now, so some of those things remind me of who I used to be, which is great. I love that stuff. But if I were moving, so I'll say this, Donna and Rhonda, if you're downsizing and preparing to move, love who you are right now, love who you used to be, but also moving forward, you don't necessarily need to be the same person you are. If you like who you are, I like who I am, and you want to move forward with that stuff, that's fine. But moving gives you an opportunity to like reinvent yourself and decorate your Barbie dream house the way you want to now and the way you want to live. I will say this, the things that I've collected now, they take up dust. I have to, if I want them to look neat, I need to spend my time dusting them. And sometimes I want to spend my time doing other things. So I don't buy dust catchers much anymore. Yeah, call me Pat. It's good to collect us to a certain point at a certain age. Yep. Carla, nice to see you. I'll see you later, my dear. Very cool. It's okay to be who you were. It's okay to be who you are. And it's totally okay to create who you want to be. I heard something recently. Who was it? I can't remember because I do coaching and I get coaching and I listen to like self-helpy stuff here on TikTok all the time. Thinking about the person you are today is the cumulative effect of who you've been for the last many years. So I'm like, hell, I must have been doing something right. Oh, very cool. Speaking of famous people, just got an email. Oh, from a famous person. Now, trust me, again, I would be annoying if I was showing off that stuff all the time, but I'm also just sharing it with you because it's my life. Okay? Yay, Carla. So Carla's one of my clients. I'm so excited for today, so much to share, and she's stoked. Man, Carla's got a tiger in her tank. She is coaching. She is, Carla, you are like so on it. And notice that you've got the fire in your belly. You want to do it. So everybody, like Carla is on fire when we are decluttering. She has an idea in her head of what she wants that place to look like. She is wanting it so bad, and she is going through it. So she's got the fire in her belly. Maybe yours is just an ember. What could get you motivating? You know, Donna and Rhonda are downsizing. So they are moving and reducing the amount of stuff they have so they can move to a place that ideally, and this is where that kind of how does it look, how does it function, and things like that. How does that affect you? And ease. I'm all about easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't want it to be difficult to live in my house. I want it to be simple and easy to maintain it, to clean it, to use the things in it so I can be out doing something else. Yeah, I want a clean slate. Notice that. There tends to be a few words that we all use when we talk about what we want our homes to look like in the future tense of when it doesn't look like it does now. And I want to say clear, clean, fresh, bright, open, cozy, inviting, comfortable, stylish. Whatever it is, evokes a certain feeling in you. You're creating the home you want because of how you want it to help you feel. You know? And notice how your home makes you feel now. And if you don't like that, flip it. Again, I'm talking about like, cute musicians. Remember when Davy Jones was on the Brady Bunch? And he gave a kiss to Marsha and he said, how about the flip side? How about the flip side? Okay? If you're not feeling good, what's the flip side of that? Okay. Traveling lighter, clutter-free, all that. Yes, and notice when you're traveling lighter. Said to my husband, I only want us to travel with, I never want to check a suitcase. Sometimes we have to because of gigs, but other than that, I just want to travel light. Easy breezy, lemon squeezy. I'm be able to hop on a plane, do this, do that. When you don't, it's more like you're more like a cruise ship or a tugboat because you're tugging all this heavy stuff along with you as opposed to like a sailboat sailing around. Now I'm going to get sailing from Christopher Cross in my head. Sorry if I put it in your head as well. So, Sunshine Girls, Sunshine Day. What do I go about decluttering with a full-time job? I'm doing some, but want to get it all done. Let me help you with that. Now, this is the really interesting thing I find about coaching, and I want to share it with you so you can notice it yourself and kind of catch yourself. Notice the words you'd use to describe your situation. Because that right now, especially when I'm doing a TikTok live and all I have is a sentence or two to help you out with it, our word choices are pretty, they can glean some insight. So I know you want to declutter. I know you have a full-time job and you're doing some of it, yes. But you want to get it all done. Now, there's somebody I've seen recently on TikTok who's like using a little red pen and circling things. I'm curious about the get it all done. We all want to get it all done, but getting it all done, you know how you do it all? Is by doing a little bit at a time. Being psyched about the little bit at a time. How does somebody make an album? A song at a time. How does somebody make a song? A word at a time, an instrument at a time, a melody at a time. They practice till they get good. Every completed thing starts with a bunch of little things. Now, the interesting thing you bring up too is the full-time job. So to me, that speaks to, if I was boring, I would call it time management. I'm not boring. So I call it road mapping your day. And road mapping your day, your week, your month, your life. I'm really good at that because I used to write about road trips. And I say, Sunshine Girl, and everybody, if you say to yourself, I don't have time, I don't have enough time, start to pay attention where you spend your time. Now, I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, these blocks of days. And notice, this is what my day looks like today. This is what my day looked like yesterday. I've got it for about the next couple of weeks. Just notice. Start to pay attention to where you spend your time. Notice where you spend your energy. Because those are things that will be depleted. Your energy, your time. And I fully admit, I spend probably, quote, too much of my time scrolling on TikTok when I could be doing other things. But I get my stuff done. I'm happy with what I do, and so I don't beat myself up about scrolling on TikTok. Get curious about where does your time go? Okay? And here, I'm scrolling back here. And Carla's saying, I still cannot believe it. I did it. I can't wait to hear from you, Carla. I'm so excited. It's just a few hours. Yay. And notice the fun and the camaraderie we have about this, because you're not alone in your clutter. You're not. Donna and Rhonda are giving Carla a high five from wherever they both are, because we're all in this together, and we know how good it feels when you release the things you don't want. It's like a weight is lifted. You're more buoyant. You know, if you were in the ocean, I was in the ocean twice this week. And, you know, you can be weighed down with heavy things, but when you get rid of the weights, suddenly you're bopping along on top. You're kind of floating around, and you can go here, you can go there. You're not dragging along with an anchor, right? But getting back to the whole notion of time, because this is a big one for a lot of people, including myself. I can't read your thing, but somebody is saying, is it better to declutter 10 minutes a day over a couple of months or a few hours over a few weekends? I say yes. I say yes because there's no right way, there's no wrong way to do this. This is where I love to introduce, because this is where my brain goes automatically, is to the road trip metaphor, the driving your car metaphor. So think about this. Think about it like this. You getting your house decluttered to a level that feels good to you, that declutter is your destination. That's why I call it Destination Decluttered, people. You are right here. How long it takes you to get there means how much time are you spending doing the decluttering. The more time you spend decluttering, the quicker you get to it. It's just like driving across the country. The more hours you spend behind the wheel driving towards Palm Springs, the quicker you'll get there. Now again, if you work full time, you may not have that time. You may not have the energy. So 10 minutes a day is better than no minutes. 15 minutes a day is a little bit better. 20 minutes a day. Or maybe there's a day you do nothing, and there's a day you do an hour. And then there's maybe a week you do nothing because you're not home, and then you do a few hours. All that really matters is that if you're not where you are, that you practice starting up from where you are to get to where you want to go. Instead of sticking yourself in a state in the middle of the country, now trust me, I'm not besmirching the states in the middle of the country, but if you're on a cross-country road trip and you're trying to get to Santa Monica, California, you know, the Route 66 type thing, you can stop for a while and rest maybe in Montana. Oh, that's Missouri, I think. I'm not good with my states. But get up and start going again. I did this today a couple of times with my clients because I was gone for a few weeks, and so I haven't seen them in a week. So we're kind of getting up, we're back in the New York groove. So do what feels right to you, but note that the more you declutter, the sooner you just get to decluttered. Okay? Now this is interesting. Grateful Mama, so proud, just had our kitchen redone. Many people think, oh, if I only had more storage, if I could only get my kitchen redone, then all of my problems would be solved. However, Grateful Mama even says, just had our kitchen redone. So much more storage. Yes, we think the answer is more storage. However, oops, sorry, it's loud outside. How do I fight the urge to fill it all up? Notice that word, urge. Urge overkill. You have an urge to fill it all up. Where's that coming from? Here's what I think. Let me help you with this. This is how I look at it. When I feel a feeling, I feel it right here. I call it in my heart, but I feel like your nervous system is kind of around here. Like I don't really feel it in my fingertips or my toes. I feel it in kind of my core around here. When I feel an urge to do something, something has activated me to want to do it. So for example, usually that could be a thought in your head. Sometimes I'll be honest, I walked past a neighbor's house today. I saw they had a big box of little bags of chips, and suddenly I was like, oh, that's right, we have a box like that in the basement. Sometimes it can be visual. But notice where the urge is coming from. Usually there's a thought, oh, now I can get more. I didn't have a lot growing up, and now I can buy the things that I want. Before you give in to the urge, just stop there and hang out with it and talk with it. Have a conversation with the urge. Write it down. Be like the lady. I wish I had the steno book. I wish I had kept it. I wonder if my sister still has it. I'll have to ask her. It was one of these ones that's like the steno book. You know, it's got the line down the middle, and it had like a sassy little secretary on it. On the one side, write down the things that are keeping you stuck. But know that's only half of it. Remember the flip side? The other side of it is the stuff that's going to be the opposite of that, keeps you going. What's the urge? Why do I feel the urge to fill those spaces? I'm uncomfortable with the empty space. It feels weird to have so much space. It feels different because I was used to everything crowded around. Get used to having the space. Notice when the urge comes up. Maybe you're, I don't know, feeling bad and you want to shop to feel better. Notice where the urge comes from, and then you can make a choice there. As soon as you put, this is again me going into like driving mode. As soon as you notice you're driving along and you realize where you're heading isn't where you want to go, as soon as you put up like a little traffic cop hand, you put your foot on the brakes, you slow down. As soon as you do that, a fork in the road appears. You now have a choice. You can continue doing what you were doing, or you can choose to do something different. Which one is going to get you, which road is going to get you to your destination decluttered? You know? Okay. I get a fire, but do you have any budget decluttering ideas? Yeah, it takes no money. And yes, I am accepting new clients. So somebody just said that. I do one-on-one coaching, paid coaching, 10-week program or 10-session program, because summer we're all on vacation, very flexible. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website. You'll find out info there. You can actually now that everybody on the web now that everybody on my mailing list knows about it, I did open up my coaching calendar to schedule a consultation. That's how coaching starts. Paid coaching is we always start with a free consultation to make sure we're on the same page. What you are struggling with is something I can help you with. This is how much it costs. I can do that. I can commit the time and money. So we know we're going to work together, because you and I will be on a road trip. You'll be driving. I'm going to be your co-pilot. But man, do I have the map? Do I have the toolkit? Do I have the snacks, the wacky songs? I make it fun. Okay, you can find out about that and joining the free mailing list on DestinationDecluttered.com. Christina was asking, do you have any budget ideas? Yeah, decluttering does not cost you any money. If anything, my clients will attest, it can save you, you can make money when you declutter, because you may find, where did I find it recently? You may find gift cards. You may find cash. You may find something you can sell. You may find something that has been missing for a while. I don't tell people, this is one of the things, I am not an organizer. I can organize you like nobody's business. Oh, you're taking off? All right, you want to say hi?
Okay.
Everybody, here's my husband. Yay!
Hello.
Yay, all right.
Everybody.
I'll see you. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, love you, bye. Where was I? Doesn't cost you anything. You can get all the clear boxes you want. You can buy all the little gadgets and stuff like that. That will not help you with your clutter. It will delay the decluttering. Decluttering, decision making. Decluttering is deciding, decluttering, deciding the things you want and the things you don't want. Once you decide, then you go into organizing the stuff you have, but getting practiced on what you want by asking yourself, what do I want? Okay. Laura, I'm frozen. All right. Thaw yourself out. Thaw yourself out. Move your body. Shake it off. Get your body moving. Go out for a walk. The best way you can counteract the flip side of frozen is moving. So get your body involved. Just walk around your house. Pick up an item. Put it down. Don't get frozen. Okay? Melissa, my trip was awesome. Yeah. There we go. All right, cool. So good stuff. I love it. Oh, this is it. Oh, man. Carla's given a testimonial. This is so sweet of her to do this. This is not planned, people. I hate stuff like that. But Carla is a client of mine, and she says, y'all, because she's from a southern state. I'm not, so that's why I point that out. Y'all, coaching is not what I thought it would be. Ooh, interesting. Today I'm going to ask you what you thought it would be. Beth asks you questions and allows you to make your decisions. Then you make your map. It's so freeing and you learn a lot about yourself. Damn, lady, I want to like screenshot that. I don't know, could I screenshot something while I'm... Oh, I think I just did. That's what it's all about. You guys, I am just here, not along for the ride. I'm not a passenger. I'm a passenger in the fact that I cannot do it for you, but it's even better for you to learn to do this for yourself. Because here's like the secret awesome thing. The way I teach you how to declutter your home helps you declutter your life. And the cool thing about decluttering your life is getting rid of what you don't want and saying, what do I want in my life? And then knowing you can take the steps to get there. This guy, 20 years ago, I saw a cute guy on a stage. I was like, not like, oh, I want to marry him, kind of maybe. But I've also crushed on, musicians since I was like 9 years old or even younger when I saw, what was it? Hard Day's Night on like the Sunday matinee at my grandmother's house. Knowing what you want in your life and having a process to go and get it, to make it happen, and enjoying the road trip. That's what I help you do. Okay? Even Christina is asking about a lot of my decluttering is paperwork. Yeah, it probably is. I got papers right here. I got some of mine. I got some of my mother's. We live in a paper-based society, even more so than when we weren't on computers. I can help you with that because it's a matter of what is this thing? Do I need it? Do I want it? If I want it, where does it go? If I don't want it, where does it go? So paperwork, clothing, kitchen stuff, things you've inherited from people, the process is the same. The process is the same because I work with you and I ask you what you want. Do you want that thing? Do you want all that paperwork? Not all that paperwork, that's even too big. I ask you questions like, why are you saving those, statements from Blue Cross Blue Shield? Me? I save them because I'm like, I don't know. I have a folder for them. It takes 2 seconds. And just in case somebody asks me, did you get that? I can be like, yeah. Do I ever look at them? No. But I have a process that's so ingrained. It took like 2 minutes. I don't stress about it. It takes me less cognitive energy to continue on with my habits that work than to reinvent a new one. Okay? Pill pusher got rid of 2 large garbage bags full of clothes, shoes, pocketbooks, and took it to a women's shelter. Awesome. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Because here's the deal. I'm throwing the love right back at you. Everybody, this is the wonderful thing about coaching. I don't do it for you. If I did it for you, yeah, I want you to thank me. I've done it for people, and sometimes they thanked me. And but when I teach you how to do it, you're the one who shows yourself you can do it. You've made the decisions, and the more you make decisions, the stronger your decision-making muscle gets. But your decision-making muscle also is kind of like it's a muscle and it's like a gas tank too, because every time you make a decision, you kind of lower your energy for the day. It's almost like you have a finite amount of energy in your decision-making tank, so that by the end of the day, that's probably why we all flop on the couch and like eat, we don't make the best choices at the end of the day when the decision-making tank is empty. Making the decisions and always saying, what do I want to happen? What do I want to happen? You practice just breathing that way, and then you act accordingly. Okay? There we go. Melissa's planning on listing some of her late aunt's stuff on eBay. It's another way you can make money. Yeah, and self-reflective. Carla just said, it's so interesting and so self-reflective. We are not encouraged in this society to look inward. If anything, hello, we're all on TikTok with all the filters and everything. We're always focusing on the surface, Like me, focusing on my wrinkles or the fact that I've gained weight or that my hair is short but everybody else has got long hair. Where the really cool stuff happens is not in the surface, but under, going down a layer or two. Popping the trunk of your, or the hood of your car to say what's going on underneath so you can say, oh, I get it. Some wires were crossed. Let's uncross those wires. Now my life runs better. Now that I'm not, confusing love with money or shame with poor or whatever it is. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Carly, you're awesome. Yeah. Abbott Elementary, nice to see you. Yay, yay. Removed a big basket from my bedroom that was a junk collector, and it feels great. That's the only reason I show up to do this, is because I know how good it feels to get rid of stuff you don't want. I say get rid of, rehome it, however you get it out of your home. But also, when you know where things are. We were talking about this morning, feeling calm, walking into your home and not being activated. Your nervous system isn't activated because you know where things are. When you go to find the scissors, you know where the scissors are. Then you practice putting the scissors back where the scissors are so they're there the next time. Now, some of us are wired differently and our habits are not as easily embedded as some other brains, but you have habits. Let's notice your habits, and the ones that don't get you where you want to go, let's kind of let some weeds grow on those while we're paving a way. See what I did there? I'm all about the road trip. Okay. Here's a fun thing too. I want to share with you because I promised I would do this last week. So I did a couple of pop-ups last week. I didn't plan them. If you're on the mailing list, let me just do the whole, if you want to get on the mailing list thing. If you want to get on the mailing list, it's free. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Yesterday I sent out an email and the people on the mailing list got the following. They got invited to a free group Zoom call on June something. They know the date because it's on the mailing list. They also know every single day that I'm going to be on TikTok and what time I'm on TikTok from now until June 28th. Maybe even June 30th if I do some pop-ups on the weekend. They also got first dibs on the Destination Decluttered, if you want to be a client, to schedule the consultations, because, yep, it's working. Because they're on the mailing list, DestinationDecluttered.com/join. One of the things I wanted to mention was last week I was talking about mugs. Anybody got mugs in their house, in their kitchen, too many mugs? I was talking about them with a client earlier. Hey, Erin, nice to see you. She's back, yes, after a fabulous trip. If it were up to me, if I lived alone, I would have like 4 mugs in the house, maybe 3. But I don't live alone. I live with somebody else. I live with my husband, and he and I have different ideas of how many mugs and what quantity and quality we have. Right, Donna and Rhonda saying mugs, ugh. Notice how mugs have the word ugh in it. So here's what I want you to think of. What are your favorites? There is a mug that you probably organically grab because it's the right size, it's the right shape, you like the pattern, it fits the right amount of liquid. I have certain ones that are my favorites. My husband has certain ones of his. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to use some of the mugs that are his. Now, they're both ours, really. I could use them. But I tend to go towards one. They could tend to go to another. Notice the things that you reach for organically. Those are the things you like. Keep those. Look at the ones you've never used. The stuff that just kind of hangs out in the bleachers, in your kind of behind, that are pushed against the wall, the little wallflowers maybe, of, excuse me, I might as well take a sip. The wallflowers, the stuff in your pantry. You got too many tea bags, maybe. You got too many leftover whatevers you thought, oh, everybody likes this. Notice the things you don't use and do not judge yourself. Get curious. Judgment's over here. Curiosity, much better. Okay, and then you can move from there. Do I want that mug? Now, we had some mugs we donated because we didn't have enough space in the one shelf that we have designated as mugs for the mugs. So as soon as that shelf is full, we don't buy any more mugs. Oh, thank you. So funny. My husband was like, something's going to get delivered from UPS. Just happened. Notice the space you have. Notice how many things fit into it. Once it's full, don't buy any more. Or if you do like a body swap. I was calling it with a client earlier today. 1 in, 1 out. How about this? 1 in, 2 out. Like he likes this mug, and so we keep it. It's not one I would choose. I mean, we like the show. But notice the quantity and quality of the stuff you have, and keep the stuff you like, the favorites, not the famous ones. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Cat Mama had 70 plus because they're pretty, but got rid of a bunch. Yeah. How many mugs you only have one hand. You can only use one mug at a time. You could use one mug and wash it and use one mug. I literally have 3.5 mugs that I use. I love the size. I love the shape. They're ones when I was experimenting with doing like Destination Decluttered merch, I thought maybe I would sell mugs. And so I keep them because I like them. But do I buy? I had plenty of opportunities on my travels. And here's the thing too. When you're in the habit of collecting things, you may say, but I always pick up a Starbucks mug whenever I am traveling. I want to get the one from Hawaii. I want to get the one that says Cape Cod. Notice when you're collecting that it's more about the collecting itself versus I actually need a mug because I have nothing to drink my tea from. Yeah. I wanted to display them, but I have no room. Yeah. Displaying things, trust me, I worked in retail visual merchandising for decades. I can display like nobody's business. But then, am I using it as a display piece or am I actually using it? Yeah. Wait, sell stuff to people who have clutter problems. Trust me, you guys, I am a identifier. I am always slightly ahead of the curve. So the fact that we're hanging out now means that you are ahead of the game because there are a lot of people, we are just at the forefront of it, that are going to be done with their own stuff. If you want to sell stuff, if you want to, get rid of things and have people get them, start doing it now before everybody is offshoring things, But there's always going to be that generation, like I collected for a while and then it was fun and I sold it and I decorated. I really loved it. It was really a thing I was doing. Now, not so much. Nah, I say, yeah, I could get that or not. I'm happy with what I have, but I know there are other people there in different collecting journeys. So I feel good about donating my stuff to people who are going to be so excited to get them. Yeah. And Royal Level Pebble says, I am guilty. Guilty as charged. Too many mugs. You're not guilty. Just notice it. Notice the words we use and how they make me feel. Guilty. Guilty you found me. I feel judged, I feel ashamed, I feel fearful. Any of those unhelpful things keep you hanging on to stuff. How about loving yourself enough to be like, I have the right amount of mugs. I love them all. Yeah, Declarer is saying dining room sets galore in Florida resale shops. Of course, because very few people dine like they used to. Times change, people change, and now I'm thinking of seasons change. That song. I love this. I'm trying to learn to collect open space. Yeah, me too. Right now, it's so funny. As I said, we had people over yesterday, and I realized I have this giant white space on this wall. It's waiting for a piece of artwork. I haven't found it yet, but I'm not going to fill it up with just some junky thing from Home Goods just to fill the space. I am getting comfortable with having more empty space, and it feels different because I grew up in a cluttered environment with piles of paper all over the place and books and like built-in bookcases that my parents, so it's different, but it feels good to know that when I see a giant piece of art that I fall in love with, I know exactly where I want to put it and I will buy it. Okay. There we go. Donna and Rhonda is saying, we have had 2 huge garage sales in the past 6 weeks. Collections are all gone except my Starbucks mugs. Yeah. You know why? Because you get to choose what you keep and what you give away. Hang on to the stuff that you want, but get curious about that this is what I like to think of. Sometimes we hang on to stuff we truly like. A green light, a nice clear green light. I really like that. I want to keep it. This mug, for example, talking about mugs, notice how I have highlighters in it. I bought this when I was traveling to Ireland. I thought it was wicked funny because it said, you are here, and the little thing points to Ireland. And those are not lost or wandered. I've traveled, all this, but it's a little bit too small. I like a big American-sized mug for my tea, but I still love this, so I use it for something different. I didn't want to give it away, but I found another use for it. But I also now I don't even look at mugs when I go traveling because I have enough. To be happy with what you have is the richest thing in the world, Okay, Jenny Betty, frozen in Pasadena, California. How can you be frozen in California? Isn't California warm? Okay, you need help and don't know what to do. You do know what to do. You know some things to do. But when you are frozen, what that means is that your brain and your nervous system are in fight or flight. This is funny. It's like fight, flight, or fawn. And I invented a new one this morning on a coaching call because this is how I coach. Or farting around. When you're feeling like I don't know what to do, you don't do it. So work with your nervous system first. Calm it down. Calm yourself down. If you're feeling overwhelmed and activated, and kind of notice how I do like the jazz hands, like zing, like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I'm frozen in ice. Who's that guy from one of the Star Wars things? No. Calm down, slow down, move your body, breathe. Write down the stuff that's freaking you out, and unfreeze yourself. Frozen means stuck and not moving. Do the opposite. Move around, shake it off, put on some Taylor Swift or something, dance around, move your body, dissipate that frozen, that nervous energy. And then once you get it, shaking it off, then you're quieting down your backseat drivers. Meditate if you want, whatever you want to call it, breathing and slowing down and quieting your mind, same diff. And then you do know what to do. You know there are things in your house right now. You have easy things. There are certain things that are going to be a little bit more difficult to make decisions on. That's why I do one-on-one coaching. Because I know all of this isn't all you need to do is. It's not that easy, I know it, but it's also not as difficult as we think it is. You know what to do, but you can't access that part of your brain that has the answers until you calm down your animal nervous system, the porcupine in you that's freaking out, the cat who's going zing, the skunk who's raising its little thing going, I'm freaking out. Okay, yeah, let it go, let it go. Yeah, Alice says I'm the master of farting around. Yeah, you want, you want to have a contest? Yeah, farting around just makes you hang around with farts. But if you want to have a life that's different than what you are going to have to get up off the couch and do some stuff. Thank you, German maid. Thank you for the welcome home. Yes, it's finding the time. Yeah, it is. It's making the time. But you have time. It's interesting. I say you have time, but you also don't have time. There is time when you can't do it. If you're working, if you're taking care of other people, but there are even slivers of your time that if you spent 5 minutes unloading the dishwasher, you're going to feel better. If you spent 10 minutes going through and just, culling out t-shirts you don't wear, you're going to feel better. It can take a lot of time, but use the time you have and feel better while you're doing it. That's one of the things I love to do in my coaching too, is we talk about it. Now, as I said earlier today, probably even today on this TikTok, because I've been on for like 45 minutes or so, is in the boring world, we would call it time management. I'm managing my time. I like to think of it as being in control of your time and creating a roadmap that says, I'm starting here, but by the end of the day, I want to be closer to my destination. So what are some things I can do no matter how small? Now, I will share with you, there are days that you have a lot of space, like today. Actually, somebody just scheduled a consultation. That's not until tomorrow. Okay, I got that one. I will send that. So I have a wide open thing this afternoon between this TikTok live and coaching, because I had slots open for people who wanted to possibly sign up for for coaching. I know there are things I'm going to do in that time to get me towards my destination. You have time. It's whether you want to feel like using it or not. Feeling like doing it is a whole different ballgame. That's what coaching helps you with. And Liz is saying, I need to set aside hours. Yes, you do, but you can use those hours in 15-minute increments. Sometimes smaller is better. And you know what's cool about smaller is better? Is it's not so much about spending a really long time driving. It's practicing starting. And it's just like when if you ever started to learn how to drive on a stick shift car. I didn't learn how to do that until I was in my late 20s. Driving a stick shift. You had to learn how to stop and learn how to start and learn how to start and learn how to stop. The more you can start after you've stopped, that's the key. It's not so much that time. It's like saying, okay, what is it? Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Yeah. See, this is cool. Somebody says, I just buy a sticker wherever I'm visiting or traveling, put it in your journal. Awesome. Awesome, cool idea. Royal Level Pebble says, I like setting a timer and race to see how much I can do in an area to declutter. Yeah, make it fun. Play beat the clock, and feel good about however much you get done. Sloan is asking, what do you think the root cause of procrastination is? Your nervous system, the thoughts in your head. I don't feel like doing it because I have a thought in my head that it's going to be painful or uncomfortable or fear-based. That's what I think. That's what I think because I'm a thinker. See, and it's really cool because I will say there are people here on TikTok that will be like, all you need to do is buy a bunch of these containers. All you need to do is dump your Cheerios into a clear container and label it with chalk paint and some chalk. That's nice. That's like the icing on the cake. I know the thing you're struggling with is, what do I keep and what do I throw away? What do I donate? What do I do with the stuff I don't want? Not what do I do with the stuff I do want. That comes later. But I have stuff in my home I do not want. That's what clutter is, people. Clutter is the stuff in your house and in your life that your soul is telling you you do not want, but your head is telling you don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. Azim is asking or saying, that's my issue. What do I do with it? Let me count the ways. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. You can put them on your front step, on your front yard, and have a free sign. I've done that. You can have a garage sale. I have done that. You can put it in a container and donate the stuff at a thrift store. I have done that. You can sell stuff on eBay. I have done that. You can sell things to neighbors. I have done that. You can give things to neighbors. I have done that. You can give things to family members. I have done that. You can put it on Facebook Marketplace. You can sell it in an auction house. You can, there's so many things you can do with it. And not one size does not fit all. Everything is different. I was on a client call yesterday. I guess it was only yesterday. Time flies when you're having fun. Saying, if you have stuff that's worth money, it could be worth it for you to sell it to somebody who's going to give you money and not just donate it. I sold something I thrifted almost 20 years ago. I was this close to just giving it to a friend of mine who owns a vintage store and being like, here, give me like $20 for it. I'm just sick of it. But I looked it up online. I reached out to an auction house. I made $800 on it. Now that is more of like that kind of unicorn thing. It doesn't happen all the time. But if you have gold, if you have sterling silver, that stuff can be worth more than you think because it can be melted down and used for other things. Yeah, it's hard to give things. Kit Kat So Cool says it's hard to give things with value. Depends on the value. What's the value? Is it monetary? Is it emotional? It's different. There are layers, people, and it's cool to get under the hood and really examine the thoughts and feelings that are making you hang on to things so you can flip them to have thoughts and feelings to make it more easily to let go. Yeah, so don't give away things if you are concerned about the monetary value of your items. Now notice I say value. It's not what you paid for it. Has anybody tried to return a car? You could pay $100,000 for a car. You drive it off the lot, you're not getting $100,000 if you want to return it. It has nothing to do with what you paid for it. It's what the market will bear, what anybody else is interested in paying for it now. So just notice the difference, the subtle yet important difference. When you spend money on things, you will never get, if you go into it saying, I will never get my money back, unless you save your receipt and return it to Target, you have to be comfortable with saying, I made a monetary decision and I'm okay with letting it go and being okay that it didn't work out. I'm going to learn something from this, so ideally I don't do this again. Okay? Other things, yeah. Again, if you have broken gold jewelry, if you have sterling silver that you don't want, find a reputable place in your area that buys coins and gold and silver. We did that. My husband had some stuff left over from when his parents died, literally like almost 20 years ago. He finally wanted to go through it. We were able to find some of this broken stuff, bring it to a place, and then we split the money with him and his brother. So there are some things out there that are still worth monetary value, but so much of it is not worth a dime to other people. Okay? I know from what I speak because I'm a collector. And I end up collecting the stuff that people don't want because it has visual value to me. right? So I get it cheap. Lizardo is saying, hi, trying to simply start an out-of-control bedroom since recovering from surgery. Advice? Yeah. Start getting it in control. Okay? How can you do that? Start small. Start almost comically small. What's the lowest, simplest, everybody? What's the simplest, easiest, peasiest, wheeziest thing you can do to get yourself started? What's something? And here's where I like to talk about surface clutter, stored clutter, and sentimental. Do not start with the sentimental stuff. Don't start with the hard stuff. Back it up. Go to the shallow end of the pool. What's the trash in your bedroom? Any trash? Put it in the trash. Got any recycles? Put it in the recycles. Anything that's in your bedroom that belongs in another room, put that stuff in another room. Start there. Clothes, that's when you start making decisions, because clothing has to do with storage. Clothing is, well, it's on the top of the bureau because I have no room in the drawers. So that's a different thing. Sentimental things. What do I do with this? I don't wear it, but it reminds me of the time I went down the Cape with my friends and we all bought sweatshirts. Notice, there are thoughts and feelings attached to our things. I would do a disservice if I told you otherwise. I know that when you see a thing in your home, it tells you a story. It's like you press a button, it tells you a story. It presses a button in your head. That's that dish that so-and-so gave you. I bought that lampshade there. That framed thing came from my great uncle. You know? Yeah, start small. Bobby Dugas is saying start on your nightstand if you have a nightstand. Yeah, really? Almost like so simple that you're like, there's no way I could get started like this. I feel like I was going to be like an inspirational mug, you know, like every great road trip starts with literally just getting out of the driveway. So what's the thing that you can do to get yourself in the car, turning on your engine, and not just revving it and wasting your time and you're depleting your energy, but getting yourself in gear and driving in the direction of your boop, 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 destination decluttered. That's how it works. It can be that simple. And if it doesn't feel simple and you're like, I don't know. I do. I do this for a freaking living. I freaking love it. That's why I started to get into coaching. Because as I started this TikTok live, I'm only going to be here for another 3 minutes or so. I was saying how awesome my life is. It hasn't always been this way. But now that I know how to make my life awesome, I want to help you do it too, but only if you're ready. I don't convince anybody. I meet you where you're at. And if I'm not about to convince you to do it, but if you're like, I want my life to be awesome, I just need somebody to show me how to do it. Now I feel like wham, because I'm your man. I'm not a man. All right. A couple more things before we sign off. And if you want to know when I'm going to be doing a TikTok live again, I want to know when I'm doing a TikTok live again, get on my mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. I will say, this was a noontime one. This was unusual for me because I'm East Coast. I'm based in Pennsylvania, and I'm an East Coast early bird. My West Coast clients and people who follow me were like, please stop being so early. We're barely getting out of bed. So that's why I did this noontime one. Tomorrow I have one at 8 a.m., and I will post something here, but I can send you the entire schedule from now until Sunday, June 30th, when you hop on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Yeah. I love it. Somebody said Publix, wicked funny. Alrighty, what do we go? Carla says, I have found when I see an empty space, I get energized to see more of them. Yeah, because you know what you did? You got rid of what you didn't want. It was in the way of the space. You know? All sorts of good stuff. Envision what you want. Envision what you want, and if you can't envision it, see what you have right now that isn't what you want and flip it over. What's the flip side? Right? And it's so funny. Who is it? Said, do you like my song things? Yeah, my song drops. Bonnie, that is a mere smidge of the songs that are always running through my head. That's why I married a musician, because we both speak in musical terms and it's fun. You know, it helps you remember stuff. Yeah, it feels very good to have a clean space, you know? So, yeah, there we go. Okay, Christina from California. All right, thank you. Excuse me, Christine, not Christina. Christine, you're welcome. I will be doing, and I have some that I call them West Coast friendly. So I have one at 11 at some day, then I get a noon, I get another noon, I get some early ones. And then I've got a couple of days where I'm off the grid because I'm going to Ohio because I just love to travel. Okay? Yeah, Carol, I am back. Gail is almost done. Now I know what I have and I can start thinking about donating. Yes, even just finding out what you have. Sorting through your stuff. Abbott Elementary, I don't know if you're still on. We were talking about this earlier. Is when you don't know what you have, the first step will be finding out what you have. Dumping certain, not all of it. Don't pull out everything and put it on the bed. Then you're going to be sleeping on the floor. One category, dump it out, sort it out, decide what you want, and then repeat, 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 repeat. The melodies, dull, repeat, and repeat. I now am channeling the Mills Brothers, which is my dad's favorite, which means it's time for me to go. Bobby, going to Palm Springs, rock on. That's like my architectural happy place and people place. I've got some cool people out there. Danetto is saying, I'm putting on music today to declutter. Yes, what's going to make the decluttering more fun for you? Make it fun. Get into comfortable clothes. Put on dress-up clothes. Put on your shoes if that helps. Go to the bathroom before you do it. Put on some music. Eat something. Drink some water. Fill up your tank. Prepare yourself to get into gear and then just drive. Okay? And I love it. Me is saying, thanks, Deep Cleaning Kitchen, for the past 30 minutes. Look, you've got the time. If you get time to lean, you get time to clean, right? That's what my husband used to say when he worked at Roy Rogers as a kid. I get a scoot. This has been delightful. Always a pleasure. If you like this, get on my mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. Like my TikTok page. Sign up for a consultation if you want me to be your one-on-one paid decluttering life coach. We can talk about that and you can ask me all the questions, okay? And I will see you guys tomorrow at some point, okay?